Coming to the attributes of a good speaker, we need to have good space distancing, because all of us have territory. If I'm sitting here, I have a territory and I should not cross that territory. If I'm standing as a speaker, I have a territory. If I have taken charge of the lectern, the way, here you can see the speaker. The lectern gives you the territory. So we need to see that how much space I can have, from my audience. If I'm sitting and I'm talking in my office where, I receive a guest, this entire setting that tells that how much space we can maintain. So space distancing is also very important. Effective use of voice. We always require paralinguistic features. I told you that good pronunciation is a marvelous addition to your, to your delivery. It enhances your beauty. Similarly, use of pauses. Similarly, use of articulation. That is going to help you. Volume. The question comes, how much volume should we maintain? Now, if we are, talking with a group of 7 people, and at other place we are talking to a group of 20 people, the volume will change. And pitch and volume, then it is not going to really help us. As speakers, we should know that I should be able to reach those 20 people who are there. If I do not have microphone, I should increase my volume so that I am audible to all my audience. Similarly, if you are addressing to 200 people, your voice will not reach. So you should look for the right kind of microphone. If it is there, you should check it whether it is working properly or not before you start delivering your speeches. Rate. What should be the rate? I can go very fast right now, but I know that it's very difficult when you are not physically present in a face-to-face situation, and if you go very fast, the rapport gets broken. So I'm using intermittently a few questions also to get my audience. So the rate should be, what is rate? Rate is the number of words that are uttered per minute by a speaker. So normally it is said that 70 to 80 words per minute we use. So, and if there are good public speakers, because normally the speeches are well rehearsed beforehand, so it may it may be around 120 words per minute. So you have to see that 50 to 60 words per minute will be very slow, and if it depends on the situation, but otherwise on an average for a good public speaking situation, it will be around 120 words. Voice modulation. If you go on the same pitch, then you will sound very boring and dull to your audience, and they will look forward to, at the earliest situation, at the earliest possibility, they will start speaking to the next person who's sitting, and they will start talking about something, where they could have common interest. So voice modulation is something which helps you in holding the attention of your audience, because when you are bringing rises and falls in your voice, when you bring variations in the pitch pattern, that really helps your audience to get hooked to what you are saying. Otherwise, you will have people in front of you, but you will lose your audience. So you need to take care of voice modulation. Pronunciation, there is RP pronunciation, that is called received pronunciation, which is British accent, and there is American accent. Let me tell you that you don't have to be native-like speakers. Not really. This is really, unjustified. We always say earlier, let me tell you, till 1980s, it was considered that English language students they should try to acquire either the British type of accent or American type of accent. But later on, a lot of researches were done, and it was established that a foreign languages is spoken by people of a specific geographical area. It is but natural to have some mother tongue influence. But the point is, then what is good pronunciation? Good pronunciation is which is legible, which makes the people of all the types of linguistic backgrounds to understand you. If they are able to understand what you are speaking in English language, that is good pronunciation. So for this, what should we do? We should try to see what is the correct pronunciation of the word. If we don't know something, we should practice it. And what happens when we are practicing, at least we are not using the pronunciation which is unknown, which is unacceptable for that particular word. So whenever you are preparing these speeches, whenever you go for a business meeting and there are certain technical words in your document, try to practice the pronunciation of those words. Articulation, for articulation, we need to remember one thing. There are people who speak very fast. They become, you must have heard Amitabh Bachchan, or you must have heard, A.R. Rahman while singing breathless songs. Like, we don't need to be that. Amitabh Bachchan is an actor, and A.R. Rahman is a singer. According to the situation, they have done that. It's all fine, but as public speaker, we cannot do that. Our words, they should not, run into each other. We should have clear, distinct articulation so that whatever we are speaking should be legible and understandable enough for our audience. We should not have sloppy articulation or slurry articulation. So now, what we can have? We need to have well-timed pauses. If we are not using the well-timed pauses, Mark Twain says that if a speaker does not use well-timed pauses, then it is worse than using 100 words. So a well-timed pause serves its purpose best in order to communicate your messages. If it is, as I said, well-timed. So wrongly timed or unnecessarily long silences, those are not pauses. Pauses should be brief and well-timed. Vocalized pauses. You must have heard, some of your friends or maybe some strangers speaking and then all, okay, yes, no, okay. So they try to use fillers. And these fillers, they do not add any meaning to your message. So what should we do? We should, if we have in our delivery, if we have in our presentation, we should always try to get rid of them because they do not add any valuable meaning to your message. So avoid using vocalized pauses. Do not try to repeat the expressions time and again. They make your deliveries, presentations very boring for your audience. You should be aware about proxemics, that is the space distancing, and also haptics, the touch. Touch also has its own language. The moment you put a hand on the back of your friend and try to convey your sympathies or condolences, or maybe you try to convey the message that I'm with you in the time of in this time of adversity. So what you are trying to do is you are trying to use haptics there. Use of the language of touch you are using. Accuracy. See, whenever you are using words, try to use them accurately. Try to place them appropriately. That is very important. Clarity, you need to have in your messages, and also you need to have effective verbal imagery. As a speaker, try to provide, analogies where your audience, they can easily understand what you're trying to convey.